What's up guys, your boy ChasmRift here, and today I got myself a very special video for you guys. While I was browsing the interwebs, I stumbled upon a very common cancer. I'm pretty sure most of you have as well. I caught a case of WatchMojo cancer. Since I don't want to end 2017 this way, I decided I'd remedy this cancer with my very own top 10 video. Like the title and thumbnail suggests, this is my top 10 Dragon Ball characters. Keyword my. But this isn't a normal subjective top 10 video, as I'll be pulling my reasoning from the anime, manga, video games, movies, guides, and statements from Akira Toriyama himself to spice things up. This will also take into consideration all 3 Dragon Ball series, non-canon sources, etc. As a disclaimer, this was harder than I expected to make this video, because there's so many good characters in the series. From just skimming the script I made, there was originally going to be an honorable mentions list, but that will be scrapped since this video will be long. Also, I will be showing screenshots for different forms of media for this list, and Shonen Jump like to play games, same for Shueisha, which are basically the same people, and they could very well ban this video from pretty much every major country if I actually use any anime clips. Before we get started, be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video. Normally I don't ask for likes at the beginning of the videos, but this took a whole day for me to work on. I typed 5 pages worth of info and it's not double spaced at all. And I'm on break trying to get away from this crap. But without further ado, let's hop on into it. To kick things off at the number 10 spot, we gotta mention the true father Gohan. From being the main villain of Dragon Ball, to teaming up with Goku and the Z Warriors as an unofficial member to save the Earth from the Saiyans, to saving Planet Namek, Piccolo really has changed a lot in the series, but what really solidified him as a great character was his relationship with Gohan. From originally wanting to use Gohan's powers for his own selfish motives, to harsh treatments in their wilderness training, to finally sacrifice himself to save Gohan, not just as a kid, but later in Super, Piccolo, despite being the closest thing to a black character at the time, proved to be a better father than Goku. Piccolo even shows concerns for Gohan's well-being as he fights Cell, but his fights and his actions throughout the series was really underwhelming, unfortunately. But his fight with Android 17 is what salvaged his legacy. Moving on, we are going to go on to number 9, and at this spot we have our boy Gotenks. So I couldn't decide between Kid Trunks and Goten on the list, I decided to go for the combination of both and throw in Gotenks. Being the fusion of both Goten and Trunks, this little powerful dude has the strength, speed, looks, and swagger of a true warrior. He even has the arrogance and douchebag personality to back up his overconfidence. The reason he's on this list though is for his comedy and childish actions in the show. The Goten didn't make me laugh so much in the past, and now I doubt he'd even be on this list. Even though I thought he's one of the coolest characters ideas ever made as a kid. But the Daizenshu was a guide that has been approved by Toriyama, and it states that Gotenks is thrown at Goku during the Buu saga, which does make sense, as the offspring of 2 Super Saiyans were able to become Super Saiyans themselves, combine their strength, and then multiplied, and then achieve Super Saiyan 3. It really is just outright logic. Alright, moving on to number 8. Based on this DBZ alone, Android 17 probably wouldn't make it past number 10 on this list 2 or 3 years ago. But Dragon Ball Super did the dude some justice. When I first saw the promotional poster for the Tournament of Power, I thought it was cool that they included him in the arc. And they didn't forget he was alive and kicking, like they infamously done in the past with other characters. Cough cough. When they brought him back, he did nothing but live up to the hype, as he put in work against the spar with Goku. He even pushed Goku to using Super Saiyan Blue, and was still holding back in the fight with Goku. He also helped out with the creation of the Super Spirit Bomb, which took out Majin Buu in the most Android 17 way I could think of, by pulling out a gun on strangers and then putting his hand up in the air to give his energy. He's shown to be caring and intelligent, as he takes his job of protecting the island animals seriously, uses his knowledge and strategy to win battles in the Tournament of Power. That's it. Still has a comedic side to him. He fights with Piccolo was considered one of the greatest fights in Dragon Ball history, as both characters were exactly even in power levels. But I love the future timeline in Android 17 for being ruthless and playing cowboy with old man Zetet in the kill. 17 proved to be the best character to bounce back out of anyone in the series, and he didn't need an ass pull for power like Frieza, and he had a higher rebound than Future Trunks. But speaking of which, yes, I know what I said on the number 8 about ass pulls, but I have my reasoning for why Trunks is above 17 in my list. To third things out, his introduction into the series was unique and mysterious as he'll ever get. Being a young boy who has the boss sim to both Frieza and King Cold, viewers wondered who he could be, and when he transformed into a Super Saiyan, this surprised many people, including myself. From the previous arc of our characters being bent over a table and struggling against the tyrant known as Frieza, it was a nice fresh dose of awesomeness to see Trunks simply foderize Frieza, and then dick slap his father King Cold. We learned that Trunks is the half-Saiyan son of Vegeta and Bulma, and was sent to warn our characters about the androids. After watching the History of Trunks short, we learned that the life was like for the young Saiyan, as he grew up in a world where all the Z warriors except Gohan were dead. Future video about that coming soon, by the way. And he had no choice but to come to the past to warn our heroes. This is an iconic point as it opened the world of multiple timelines into the Dragon Ball franchise. A video about that also coming soon. This led to the incarnation of video game ideas such as Dragon Ball Xenoverse game series, which is basically based on going back in the past to save timelines. And we also see how much of a struggle it was for Trunks to grow up. His relationship with future Gohan was comparable to the relationship between Piccolo and current timeline Gohan, which also led to the most iconic transformation we ever seen in history. To show evidence for his love and care for Gohan, since I cannot show any official anime clips, here's what it looks like in the form of Xenoverse 2.
Gohan? You're still alive?
We'll fix that soon enough. Kill him. Full power.
Gohan! It can't be. Gohan! Gohan!
So, you're just fooling me, but aren't so much power. Fine fuel to further my evolution.
There's no way he's stupid to be Mira. After that battle with Android 16, the two of you together still don't have a chance.
Who is this guy? How is he so strong? What? I'll put you out of your misery very soon.
The two of them will. Go on, Will. Damn it. Hey, what are you doing, Trunks? Stop it.
You're not going to get your way today, Mira!
Why can't I beat you? Even against 3 of you. I am far stronger. I must be.
I won't let you kill Gohan!
Trunks, you came from the future, didn't you? So Bulma was able to finish her time machine. I'm really proud of you, Trunks.
Thanks!
Right. It's not the time for this. 17 and 18 are attacking the city.
You're right. And this time, Gohan... Gohan, I'll go with you to fight! This time, I won't hold you back!
What are you saying? You know you're not allowed to do that, Trunks.
If you help out Gohan here, you'll change the course of history.
I know. But
Trunks?
Please, you have to stop Trunks.
Trunks. Is there something you want to tell me? If you're here, all grown up, then the future is safe, isn't it? And so, this fight has a real purpose. It's enough for me.
No! You can't! Go on!
Trunks. It looks like you've made a good friend. You can't abandon a good friend, can you? It's really good to see you, Trunks.
Go on!
Yes, this is a true tear-jerking moment, and we see how Trunks' reactions are very relatable. I know that if I could go in the past and say something that is most precious to me, I would do it, even if it will ruin the present or future. And I'm sure most of you would do the same. In his DBS return, he was again bent over a table with the enemy who, when we first seen his appearance in promos, made us scratch our heads, in the form of Goku Black. Looking past Apple known as Super Saiyan Rage, we got to see more character development out of Trunks and possibly one of the greatest arcs in Dragon Ball history. A little father-son bonding between Vegeta and Trunks features Trunks learning lessons from his younger self, and even another tear-jerking moment between Trunks and Gohan. For such a seemingly perfect character in terms of my criteria, why would I place him relatively so low? Well, this may sound like a pretty excuse, but the ending of the Goku Black / Birds of Matsu arc was the biggest letdown and most underwhelming way I've ever seen an arc ever end. And for that reason, I unfortunately gotta put Trunks at number 8 because I don't agree with how they had him defeat Murder Zamasu. Anyway, let's move on in the list. Broly, Broly, Broly. The name itself brings joy to the hearts of both die-hard and casual Dragon Ball fans, aka Dragon Ball tards. Broly is the pinnacle of fan-favorite villainy and has an interesting, somewhat BS backstory where he was born the same day as Goku and his crying made Broly upset and now he set out to kill Goku. But what makes me love Broly is how he is a reserved guy by nature. When he was being controlled by his father and when the gloves came off, he shit-stomped and dick-slapped all the Z-Warriors in the film. He's even brought back years later in the form of Bio Broly. In the power level section of the Dragon Ball Wikia, it said that Broly is stronger than Cell, which I think is impressive of a feat. And he is such a fan favorite, they basically incarnated him as canon in the form of Kale, becoming a legendary Super Saiyan. Like Broly, both are reserved in their own right, and she almost got hit with Rule 34, but then became a dominant force in nature, like our beloved Broly. And for that reason, I had to put Broly at number 6 on my list, for being such an all-around good character who only had few minor emphasis within just movies alone. Number 5. Yes, the main protagonist of the show finally makes on the list, which shouldn't come as a surprise. The Saiyan baby sent to Earth has done so much throughout Dragon Ball Z and Super that it'll be nearly impossible to list all the feats he's already done in this long video. Nevertheless, let me highlight some of the best feats. He went toe-to-toe with Vegeta, he fought a rise to Ginyu Force, sacrificed his life to save Earth, he became the first Super Saiyan to ever show up on TV. This is probably number 2 on my list for greatest transformations, cough cough. His Super Saiyan Blue transformation and his many fights got him far on this list, but because it's been the Goku show for most arcs, and he overshadows most characters unfairly, this is why he doesn't even eclipse the top 3 spot on this list. Also because of inconsistencies in Dragon Ball Super, but that's not entirely his fault. Alright, number 4. Vegeta makes it very far on this list, because like many fans, we like Vegeta more than Goku. Originally starting out as a villain in the Saiyan's Arrival arc, who thought he was so powerful that he was above people with his 18,000 power level. One of the most iconic memes came out of Vegeta, and many more over time. Vegeta fell in love with Zenkai Boost to the point where he was almost as powerful as Goku, who trained intensively in the gravity chamber, it was almost on par with Frieza in most of his forms. He has been the embodiment of character development, and put aside his arrogance to team up with our characters. After he met his demise at the hands of Frieza, he pleaded to Goku to avenge their race, was willing to sacrifice his life for the Earth against Majin Buu. Showing to actually love and care for both Bulma, Future Trunks, and Kid Trunks. When his power or motives reached new heights, when Beerus slapped Bulma, Cell killed Future Trunks, and embraced his child for the first time before he blew himself up respectively. Finally, he got revenge on his former boss and adversary, Frieza, and his Majin Vegeta state was pretty badass when he killed an entire crowd of people to get Goku's attention. Unfortunately, Vegeta has been the shadow of Goku. As Toriyama stated, Vegeta is his least favorite character to write, and has always been the one to take the L before Goku steps in, and he's never been able to have his moment in the spotlight. Yet, as of this recording, but it doesn't change the fact that he had to be cream pied by my Kid Buu in order for Goku to save the Earth. If Vegeta was given a W before this video was made, I probably would place him in the top 3. Growing up as a kid, I loved to see a kid in the show who was a very capable fighter. And the show subliminally built around Gohan during the time throughout the arcs. It has many hairstyles as there was age changes throughout the series. Gohan is the definition of coming of age in the series. Achieving Super Saiyan 2, defeating Cell, and obtaining the Mystic Transformation gave Gohan respectable feats. But unfortunately, this was a thing. But hey, on the bright side, Gohan did get a pretty bad waifu out of the deal. Gohan has been fodderized and became significantly weaker over time as a Saiyan hybrid gene, being less adept to fighting compared to the nature of full-bladed Saiyans. But Gohan has become strong when it mattered most to protect the ones he loved. He's a family man who is willing to reach beyond his power to regain his mystic form, to protect his family, and even struck the chord when he eliminated the Universe then, and realized these warriors have families of their own. The reason why Gohan is so high on my list was because of his relatable nature and understanding. Gohan was originally meant to be the hero of Dragon Ball after Gohan, but the fans and writers preferred Goku carry the torch. This is why Gohan is only number 3, despite me being very biased for him. For any Dragon Ball GT fans, congratulations, you finally have someone on this list, but Oob isn't Dragon Ball GT exclusive, as he appeared at the end of Dragon Ball Z. Being the reincarnation of Kid Buu at the wish of Goku, Oob was a dose of badassery, as he went toe-to-toe with Goku and evolved while fighting during the martial arts tournament. They put a lot of emphasis on Oob's importance to the Dragon Ball universe, as they said in the future of the Z Warriors will be, well, Oob, when Goku dies. And the events of Super take place in between the 10-year gap between the defeat of Kid Buu and the fight between Goku and Oob. We are at least 3 years into the timeline of the most recent Dragon Ball Super episodes, but I shouldn't be worried about the timeline, as Hermit the Power Arc has taken nearly a full year to get to this point. We're 43 episodes in, and seem to not be done yet for at least a few more episodes. And get this, it's only been 3 days in the Dragon Ball Super Universe time, and over 23 episodes dedicated to 48 minutes of their tournament time. The unfortunate reason why this awesome character hasn't made it number 1 is because he is fodderized for many portions of GT. Never made prominent appearance in the video game, he doesn't hold much weight besides being the second strongest character in GT. But I am biased, like most top 5 or 10 videos, and Oob has been one of my favorite characters because of his mohawk and being a black character, kinda like me and my Universe 2 character. Alright, the moment y'all been waiting for, number 1. Okay, this will disappoint some, and others will rejoice. But Bardock, ever since day 1, has been a pure badass. Before his Universe 2, which I will talk about soon, Bardock has been an incredible character who starts out with his own personality flaws, but builds up to being a good fighter with his own moral code. After gaining psychic powers to see into the future, Bardock's motives and actions quickly changes into trying to cope with his mental instability, his unusual visions of his son, Goku, and his revelation that Frieza wants all Saiyans dead. He also makes up for some good memes, where he died in peace knowing the Saiyans would be avenged by his son. But The special where Bardock wasn't entirely killed off by Freezer was a good one. As Bardock becomes Super Saiyan and defeats Freezer's ancestor, Shield. But the true prominence for Bardocks are the video game. This dude is a beast. He tanked the Spirit Bomb from Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Xeno Trunks, Beat, aka the main protagonist of Dragon Ball Heroes, and GT Piccolo. And only his master's cracked. This dude has also fatherized Mira, was able to go Super Saiyan 3, also in Dragon Ball Heroes, and he even survived punches from the same 4 characters in that game. In Xenoverse 2, Bardock was a main staple to the game franchise, and he was able to actually bring down Mira into a time bubble and kind of do us a favor, but in reality it just made things worse. But I can't fault Bardock for that. He's still badass. In short, Bardock really hasn't had any bad feats, as well as having great character development. Having a power level above 2 million, and he has a cool timebreaker get up in the games. Bardock, like Trunks, actually hit this criteria very well. And because of his actions throughout the video games and how much Shonen Chump and Shirasis put a lot of effort into making Bardock into a well-polished character, I kind of have to give him the #1 spot, even though he didn't have much screen time compared to other characters. So that was my list. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Do you guys think I was fair in my reasoning for this placement, or do you think I was a bit too harsh with some characters? Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, let me know who your favorite characters are. I would love to see the differences and similarities in our list. Anyway guys, I just want to thank you all again for watching this video, and like I said earlier, be sure to leave a like down below. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, be sure to check out my Twitter or Twitch links down below. It'd be greatly appreciated if you follow them. And also, be sure to check out my Discord link down below. For anybody who's a subscriber to this channel, we all come here and we have fun there. And I also be dropping some interesting hits there and also on my Twitter. Anyway guys, I gotta get out of here. I didn't want 2017 to end the way WatchMojo wants to ruin things. And again, I just want to thank everybody for watching this video. But them gates are still open, and I guess I gotta go close them. So, bye.